doing that.
Right.
And I believe
and I think a lot of it comes from trauma. I don't think I've ever met anybody in sex work who didn't have trauma in their childhood. And it really isn't of a healthy, and we can stop that too. You know, like I would love that if there was no sex work. Obviously, I know a lot of people make really great money doing it. But if it didn't start with trauma at a young age, I don't think that they would be there. And again, that's where I stand in being a parent who is into prevention, into education, into, you know, awareness. Because if, again, we can help people not have to go down that route. I know that they are like, oh, well, I chose it and I'm happy and I like it. But really, I mean, they could have had a much more lucrative job and something that they would be proud of also without having had that trauma. So, you know, and I know a lot of people do a lot of things out of trauma. I mean, Tito is a prime example of someone who had tons of childhood trauma, and it could have made him a drug addict. It could have made him, you know, a porn star. It could have made him many things. I mean, he witnessed a lot of crazy, gnarly things as a little kid.
Same.
And it could have, but he took that and he turned it into, I don't want to ever be that way. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I am not a piece of shit. I am not all these things. These teachers told me, and these parents told me, and these adults told me, I am better, and I'm going to prove them all wrong. And that's the mindset of like a champion. But a lot of people aren't raised. He wasn't raised to be a champion. He just had it in him.
Champion's a mindset, man. Champion's it's no one. It's either in you. I mean, it's like for me when people are like, where does Teflon come from? I'm like, it's not just a fucking nickname. Like it's what if you knew half the shit that I have been through,
right,
and what I've survived, you would understand that like I take so much punishment to this body, to this brain, to everything that a lesser person wouldn't last 5 minutes going through. And I think that you take those experiences, you've gone through them, Tito's gone through them, I've gone through them, and you try to use your experiences as education. But do you feel, for example, as I said, like you, like me, who have done, because again, we could have gone one direction in our life. Tito could have gone another direction, but we chose to do the right thing, the good thing, the admirable thing.
Quite frankly, the hard road. It's the fucking hard road. It's the hard way.
But do you feel when you take that hard road that you become more of a target, where it's like people have a problem knowing that you're not going to sell out, you're not going to do those things, and then you become this person where they say, well, Amber is difficult, or Amber's this, or it's like, wait a minute.
So I haven't had those situations because I'm never seen as difficult. I do get the stigma of that I did sell out. Like I do, because I have had a long career and I have kept longevity and I have accomplished so much in my career. People, I mean, I remember the rumors since, you know, day one that I like slept with everybody at the UFC, and then I slept my way up to the top, and I slept with my bosses, and I did all of these things. And I was like, a woman doesn't have to sleep with anybody to do anything in her career. Just so every little girl watching and any woman watching, you can do it all. It's hard work, and you'll definitely have to work harder than the girl who's willing to give it up, because she'll be handed that position. But guess what? She's going to have to work 10 times harder when she's gotten it, because she didn't work for it. So she has no clue what the job takes. So she got it. Great. Now what? Like, I know that I had to bust my ass, and I had to get a bunch of no's, and I had to get a doors, you know, shut in my face and told I'm not tall enough, or I'm not skinny enough, or I'm a little old, or my hair is long, not too, you know, either too long or too short. It's always something. But I guess when I get the job, I know I am the one they picked, because of I know I worked for it. They know I will get the job done. They know I know what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm the opposite though. You know, as far as that is, I don't get she's difficult to work with, but I do get the people going, oh, she probably did something to get there.
So last question here, like for you, what's next for two things?
Yep.
What would Amber Nichole Miller now tell her younger self?
Goodness. don't put all your eggs into one basket. And when in relationships, I really would give, all of me, and I would sort of lose myself in that giving before and never finding a partner. So as a young person, I would say choose someone who's your friend and not just fun.
Okay.
Because your friend will respect and love you, whereas your fun person will get tired of being fun. So I think that's the biggest one. And then, as far as career, I'm really happy with, where I've gone in my life and where I'm headed, with my foundation and, with my beauty business. And, Tito and I actually just booked FHM. We just got done shooting that. So we're doing our interview right now. We'll get a cover of FHM, and then we're doing Muscle and Fitness in a month as a couple. And I think that showcasing a strong couple who is, they have conservative values. They believe in God. They're raising children. They also are, our self-starters, our self-motivators. And, I will preach till the day is young about being positive and about being loving and kind and accepting, because it's so much easier, really, than holding a grudge. It's so much easier just to be nice. And you know what? People will fuck you over, and people will hurt you, and people will use you. But
people are shit.
At least
people
at
are
the
shit.
end of the day, at the end of the day, though, if you did your best, you'll sleep good. I sleep great. I sleep like a baby. So I know I did good.
So, and for you, last, what would you let's see here, what would you, for yourself, been your biggest accomplishment from your younger self to now, and biggest regret?
Let's see. Gosh, I mean, I think my biggest accomplishment is being a mom and being able to multitask and juggle career and business and, raising children that are good humans. I think that's my greatest accomplishment, quite frankly. And I always knew that would be my greatest accomplishment. My mom always told me, you could have accomplished everything that you've ever dreamed of, but if you raise children that are assholes or, that are like menaces to society, what have you really accomplished? Because that's a reflection of you. So, I think that's my biggest accomplishment for sure. And what would I say I regret the most? I regret the friendships that I didn't make because I was in a headspace that, like, girls, I always thought, well, they're catty and they're bitchy and they'll stab you in the back, and guy friends are better. But I really limited myself to having some meaningful girlfriend relationships that now, quite frankly, I wish I had. I do have, 10-year, 20-year friendships. But to have had those, even in my 20s, I would have had that girl gang, that girl, that those people there for me when I did go through the things that I probably wouldn't have been through, the bad relationships and the struggles that I went through. I probably wouldn't have had those if I had good girlfriends.
And lastly, this will be a last one.
Yes.
What would you say in your time from when you started in the UFC, from when you met Tito to now, what you have learned from each other?
Well, and I tell this all the time, and everyone like laughs when I say it, but when I first met Tito, I didn't like him. I thought he was really egotistical. I thought he was very full of himself. I was like, oh God, this guy is just a lot. I was like, oh, like not.
Hold on, you just are.
I'm almost losing you. I've got like one.
Yeah. Part. Okay.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
Okay, good. So, and then, through, traveling with him, and when we went to London, I got to see a new side of him and see how kind and thoughtful he was. And I was like, all right, I like this guy. And we kept kind of a, from afar friendship. We had both been married and through relationships. And, we would see each other occasionally when he would come to Vegas. And I was a host, so I did customer development at a lot of big clubs. And, I never really like I thought he was handsome, and you know, I liked that he was very like had a lot of bravado and he always smelled good.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for an alpha in my life. I always sort of chose guys that I could control, and if they left, they left. And that was, you know, that was something that I learned from, you know, a young age where, you know, when my dad was gone, my mom told me, you can't rely on anybody, you rely on yourself because, you know, a man could leave you at any time. And thinking back, I was like, that's kind of fucked up. Like, why would you want me to think that? But
Mm-hmm.
it did build the person that I am, and it did, you know, it did mold me to the person that I am. And now, you know, our relationship is absolutely thriving. You know, he is my best friend. He's my favorite person to be around. You know, we laugh, we have fun, we can just sit for hours and just not say anything, and it's just normal.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need the filler. We don't need the fancy stuff. We don't need to go to red carpets to make our life exciting, because we
Mm-hmm.
have a common goal, and that's to raise children who are going to be stars. They're going to be stars in life because they're going to be excited to, you know, work hard. They're going to be excited to accomplish things. They're going to be excited to be loving and kind and be giving and to earn everything, because if you don't earn it, it doesn't feel as good. It doesn't taste as good.
Mm-hmm. So where can everyone find you, Amber, on social media, who's just tuning in? If you guys missed this episode, don't forget you can watch it on Saturday when it airs live, 6 p.m. on Hot Topics Celeb TV. Follow the channel, hit the subscribe button in the bio. You can also follow me on at DTeflon if you enjoyed this conversation. Look out for more. So, Amber, where can people find you or just tuning in?
You can find me here on Instagram, Amber Nichole Miller 2, and Nicole, it's AMBERNICHOLEMILLER 2. You can find my foundation. I just made a new page here on Instagram, and it's The Social Found. So it's THESOCIALFOUND. I sort of have a Facebook. It's not worth it because I can't even access it unless I'm on a laptop. And my Twitter's gone. But if you find, you can probably find me on Telegram. You can find me on Parler. You can find me on Gab. You can find me on all the newest apps. They're all Amber Nichole Miller across the board.
Okay, I just need to do one last thing for me.
Yes.
I need you to put a plug where you're going to say, I'm Amber Nichole Miller. You can find me on Hot Topics Celeb TV. And then you do another one saying, I'm Amber Nichole Miller. You can find me on DTeflon.com.
Okay. So Hot Topic.
Celeb TV.
Celeb TV. Okay. I'm Amber Nichole Miller, and you can find me on Hot Topic Celeb TV.
Now, I'm Amber Nichole Miller. You can find me on DTeflon.com.
I'm Amber Nichole Miller, and you can find me on DTeflon.com.
Amber, it has been an absolute honor, a privilege, a pleasure to have you as tonight's guest on Hot Topics Celeb TV, Hot Topics Radio Podcast After Dark. I hope to have you back for part 2 because I really enjoyed this conversation with you.
Yes.
You're a beautiful, bright, talented woman who is going places in the world. I want you to continue to keep using your voice, spreading your light, spreading your energy. The world needs definitely more people like you in this world fighting the good fight. And I want to tell you that, you know what, it has been an honor watching you grow. You're an absolute treat and delight. And I want to thank you for joining me this evening.
Thank you so much. You are such a pleasure. I am very thankful for your friendship and for your awesome podcast. I can't wait.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you tonight.
See you soon.
Peace.
Bye.